chances are, if you're watching this video, you've seen this guy all over the internet. Now, he's come up with 7 baby steps to get out of debt. No, not this baby, these baby steps. In this video, I'm going to dive in and criticize and analyze every step. So without further ado, let's dive into this content. I'm gonna jump in and give you a brief explanation of these 7 baby steps, but if you already know what they are, feel free to jump ahead. In a sense, Dave Ramsey has created a program which will help you get out of debt. He calls each step a baby step because he wants it to be foolproof and easy to follow. Now, he's also received a ton of backlash regarding his methodologies because he's totally against borrowing and incurring debt, but this is a topic for a whole nother video. Now, supposedly you follow all these steps in order, you will get out of debt and into prosperity. So to start off, the first baby step is to save $1,000 in an emergency fund. Now, honestly, this is a very good step to start off with, especially being number 1. Now, if you are working a full-time job in the United States of America, it is totally feasible to save $1,000 within a couple of months. Now, personally, I'm hyper analytical, and I would say that step number 1 should be creating a budget. But I believe that he actually sells a program that goes more in depth about the intricacies and the workings of all of this. But for this being free advice, I totally agree with it. Now, you should have $1,000 tucked away regardless. This is a pretty common sense step, and most emergencies could be solved with $1,000. And I know that there are other emergencies that can come up and completely wipe you out, or that could be way over $1,000, but this does set the precedence, and it could instill great habits to save money and set you forward pretty well. Step number 2 is to pay off all debt using the debt snowball method. Now, the debt snowball method is basically taking your smallest debt and paying that off in order of smallest to highest, kind of like a snowball starting off at a peak of a mountain. It starts off small, but in the end, it grows really, really big. Being in the personal finance space, I do agree, yes, you should technically pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first, but there is a reason why I do love this strategy. Now, I do have to agree with Dave, this is more of a mindset habit rather than a logical one at this point. I have personally done this and it really works. Step number 3 is to save 3 to 6 months in an emergency savings fund. This is also a very good step, and I do agree with this one. You should have a substantial savings account, especially if you have a family. I would even venture out to say you should save between 6 to 12 months, especially during bad economic times. Say, for example, you get laid off. You should have a stockpile that will allow you to get through until you could get a job or until you can start generating a way to come up with some income. Step number 4 is to invest 15% of your household income into a retirement account. Honestly, once you don't have any more debt and you have more money to invest with, this should actually be a step that you should do more of. And what do I mean by this is that you should invest as much money as possible.
Shoot.
If you can invest up to 50% of your income, this is definitely something you should be doing. Now, I know he mentions retirement accounts, but you can interpret this into various different things. Let's say, for example, 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, and various other accounts like these. Again, more than likely, if you're watching this video, chances are you are not a personal finance expert. And let's just say for the masses, this is a very good and solid step to take. My personal philosophy is to invest your money into cash flow producing assets that can pay you now and grow in the future. But again, this is a whole other topic for another video. By the way guys, let me know if you're liking this topic, and if you are, hit the like button and subscribe for more upcoming videos like these. Step number 5 is to save for your children's college fund. Now, honestly, this is a very targeted step. Some people don't have children and they don't even plan to have any children in their lifetimes. And honestly, I'm on the edge about this step. For me, this is way into the future, and honestly, if you invest enough and produce assets that can pay you enough, this will take care of itself in the future. Now, if you're a super academic and you really worry about this, I guess it is a good step. Honestly, I want my kids in the future to have the best education, and I want to support them throughout that. But again, it's way in the future and I'm more risk averse. That's why I kind of skipped a step. Now, if you want to do it, I guess it's okay. Now, step number 6 is to pay off your home early. I want to start off by saying everything you should do, you should have a plan for. If you plan on living in the same place forever, and if you're not a real estate investor, this is a solid plan. And yes, your home is usually your most expensive debt. So by eliminating this, you can significantly increase the amount of disposable income that is available for you, which will allow you to double down on your investments and retirement goals. This is also a great plan if you have a really high interest rate on your home. It could really help you cut down the amount of payments that you make on an amortized loan over time. Now, if you are a real estate investor and have a low interest rate, it might be to your best benefit to keep this loan alive because it will be really cheap debt. Last and final step, step number 7, is to build wealth and give. Now, this is a very vague step, so I'll definitely elaborate on it. Now, building wealth can be anything from investing in real estate, investing in businesses, to investing in stocks. To this, I will say you really need to educate yourself before you dive into any of these fields, because any of these could lead you back right to square one. Once you are out of debt, you really want to keep it that way. Now, for the giving part, yes, I do believe you should be generous, but one caveat is you don't want to give your money away for no reason. But if you see somebody that's in need and you have a cause that you really believe in, yeah, by all means, be as generous as possible. Now, what's my overall opinion on Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps? I think they are pretty solid for the average person. There are literally thousands of people who have gotten out of debt by following these steps, so the proof is in the pudding. But the real question is, what do you guys think about these steps? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, another important step after this is learning how to build credit, and I will leave a video right here so you can watch.